everybody, welcome to the garage, the court of public opinion. I'm Jeremy Cordeaux. It's a Tuesday morning. I hope it's going to be a great day for you, wherever you're going, whatever you are doing. The court of public opinion. Alison Reeves, she is a director with the Grattan Institute. Now, she has come out with this yesterday. The cost of electricity will come down 50% by 2050. I'm not going to be alive in 2050, I don't think.
Jeremy, you'll be 105.
105, yes. Well, there you go.
Time to save money.
Well, my suggestion with Alison is, what do we do if you're wrong? And what makes you think that you're right in the first place? The Grattan Institute is a left-leaning political think tank. So it's logical that they would be in lockstep with this nutty Labour government. Nevertheless, I say, Alison, prove it. Prove it. What you're doing is buying time for this failed government and its discredited energy policy. But I will try to get Alison Reeves on the show on Friday. I would just love to talk to her about this unsubstantiated claim. Is it a promise? Is it even a possibility? I'd love to chat to you about it. Why you weren't examined on your proclamation yesterday a little bit more thoroughly, I have no idea. The Treasurer, Jim Chalmers, has shown some common sense here. He's reversed his earlier decision to tax unrealised capital gains on superannuation. And he has indexed his 30% tax on super funds over 3 million. And there wouldn't probably be many, well, not around now. And he's inserted a new tax of 40% on funds over 10 million, and there'd be even fewer of those. No doubt he was heavily lobbied by the industry, but just leave super alone. Don't keep moving the goalposts. It creates uncertainty, and we lose confidence and faith in the whole concept. New figures show that Victoria's economy is in steep decline. 9 out of 10, think about it, 9 out of 10 new jobs are in the public sector, meaning they're non-productive. And 14.7% of Victoria's population has been a victim of crime in the last 12 months. That's the highest in the nation. And I would think it would indicate very, very clearly that the place is falling apart. But there you go. Not everyone is pleased with the Gaza ceasefire. Lydia Thorpe, for one. She's going to go on demonstrating and has publicly urged people to do the same. But she's gone a bit further than that. She's urging people to burn down Parliament House. Now, what our Parliament has got to do with Middle Eastern politics, insane and all as that is, I don't know. But is this woman going to get yet another free pass for outrageous behaviour? Why is it so? Is it because she is Indigenous, or is she such a ratbag that no one expects anything better of her? She wants these senseless, disruptive protests to go on and on every week. She doesn't like Donald Trump. His ceasefire isn't a good ceasefire, certainly not good enough. What's a good ceasefire? A ceasefire is a ceasefire. She's determined to keep the Palestinian protests going. From the river to the sea, Palestine will be free. Well, it takes more than just the desire to exist to justify your national presence. There are no jobs, no employment. The Gaza Strip is 100% reliant upon aid. What's the point? Women are going to go on having one baby after the other baby after the other baby with no visible means of support, lining up for aid at the next truck stop? Should Lydia Thorpe be arrested for threatening to burn down Parliament? I say yes, definitely. Under, 5.3 of the Federal Criminal Code, it is an offence to threaten to damage Commonwealth property. If the standard you walk past is the standard you accept, this woman is an elected member of Parliament and should be held to a higher standard of behaviour, but she's not. But I'll bet she won't be. And what if someone, some maniac, does try to burn down Parliament House? Will she be held responsible for that? Incitement, perhaps? God knows, but we'll see. We'll watch it here in the Court of Public Opinion, ladies and gentlemen. Joan Anderson. I don't know if the name Joan Anderson rings any bells with you. Joan Anderson has died. She was 101 years old. She is the Australian who invented the hula hoop. Did anyone have a hula hoop? No, I think it was lots of girls had hula hoops, I think.
You need the shape.
Yeah, I had to have the shape, I suppose, yes. Oh, the hula hoop became a huge success, a craze. And in the light of this climate change nonsense, we should have a closer look at crazes. The yo-yo was another craze. How do they start? Why do they start? Why do people take on a thing straight out of the blue? It must be the same thing that drives the followers of cults. Is it that we wander around looking for something to join, to follow, to believe in? Religion, football clubs, political parties? Do we feel safer in a herd? Like-minded people? He's not the first, but there's a guy in Kenya called Pastor Paul Mackenzie. Now, he had many followers of his strange starvation cult. He told people that they would go to heaven if they starved themselves to death. They've just found another 400 dead bodies. I don't know what that makes him. Mass murderer, Svengali. I suppose he would plead, well, I didn't starve them to death, they starved themselves to death. Why did they believe this nonsense without question? Well, that's what people are doing all over the world with regard to climate change and net zero. It is just as stupid and as illogical that people will jump on. There are movements like, well, more than a movement, it's a religion. Voodoo, I'm thinking of voodoo. Millions believe that if pins are stuck in an effigy of a person, he or she will die. And he or she does. Aboriginals believe that if a bone is pointed at them by someone, they will die. And they do. There are people in South America and New Guinea who practice human sacrifice to appease the volcano gods, for example. People are expected or directed to throw their firstborn child into the volcano. The hallmark of a lot of these practices, the hallmark is that the people are backward, superstitious, uneducated. But that doesn't explain things like the Jonestown massacre. You remember? This guy, ordinary little bloke, set up his community, called it Jonestown, and told his people, his flock, to drink the poison that he had provided and kill themselves. And they did. Why? Does it happen in the animal world? Well, yes, I suppose it does. Lemmings, you know, and that's not a myth. They run following the lead lemon or lemming over the cliff. Is it the strength of the leader or the gullibility of the follower? The need to believe in something without question, to follow to the end. No doubt the biggest and perhaps the most dangerous cult at the moment is climate change. If you don't turn off your coal-fired power station and freeze in the dark, you will destroy the planet. Total rubbish, of course, but people believe it. Amazing. You've got a government in Canberra that is espousing it. I don't know. I really don't know. What else is around? I was looking at this youth market the other day, the obsession that we seem to have with youth. You know, the youth market is worth $2.5 trillion. People want to stay forever young. There are spas and there are wraps and there are saunas and there are retreats, all sorts of schemes and dreams, the pursuit of youth. Why? It's sort of nice while you've got it, but you know, move on. There's nothing worse than pursuing youth, I think. You know, stay fit, but don't become obsessive. Is it advertising? Don't know. But if they're concerned about productivity, to ignore the most experienced and wealthy section of society, that's older people, is nuts. But even the Pope is going down this road. The youngest ever saint in the Catholic Church, in the history of the Catholic Church. As a young man, 15 years old. Now, I thought this was, I had to look to see it wasn't the 1st of April or something. But anyway, he was a gamer, that is, somebody who plays electronic computer games. He has been beatified. Really? Is the Catholic Church so keen on getting a younger audience that you would do something like this? I don't know how beatification works. Yes, it was sad that this young man died so young, leukemia, I think it was. But a game-playing kid who spent his whole life on a computer or a game console, how does that qualify one for sainthood? God's influencer, technology, spreading the word to younger gamers? I don't know. Maybe it's something you could ring me on Friday and have a talk to me about that. We are here with the best wishes of the Rising Sun Inn, ladies and gentlemen. 60 Bridge Street at Kensington, 8333 0721. Grant and Jackie will take very good care of you. Regularly chosen as the best pub or inn in South Australia, having been built way back in 1845. This 25 years a big one for them. And it's always a good idea to ring and book, by the way. They are open every day of the week, but not every lunch and every dinner. So give them a call. And Elder Fine Art Gallery in Melbourne Street, North Adelaide, with the last big auction of the year coming up. 2 beautiful buildings, and at the time of the auction, absolutely filled with art that's being offered around the world. You can talk to Jim or Helen Elder on 8267 2869. They're inviting people to submit notable paintings for this last auction of the year. And don't forget to call us on Friday. Our number around the dining room table, jeremycordeaux.com, 0491 65 68 60. Or you can get the app. The app is probably the best way of doing it. It's on, you go to and get from the App Store Simple Radio. It's called Simple Radio, and then you just look up the Court of Public Opinion or Jeremy Cordeaux, and there I will be, in the palm of your hand. Can I wish you a happy birthday or a happy wedding anniversary? And look at some of the things for which we remember the day. It's October the 14th. A. Milne's book, Winnie the Pooh, was released on this day in 1926, and it's remained a remarkable, firm favourite with kids forever. Australia votes against altering the Constitution to give Indigenous communities more rights in a referendum just exactly 2 years ago. 2023 was the year. This was the day. The Battle of Hastings, 1066 and all of that. William, Duke of Normandy, and his Norman army defeats the English forces of Harold II, who was killed in the battle. Got an arrow in the eye, as I seem to remember my history. Cliff Richard, English rock vocalist, Move It, Living Doll, We Don't Talk Anymore. Born in Lucknow, British India, on this day in 1940. Now that would make him 90.
95.
95. Yeah. Thank you. 95. Sir Arthur Conan Doyle publishes The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes, a collection of 12 stories originally published and serialised in the Strand magazine on this day in 1892. Roger Moore, British actor, the Saint, James Bond, born London, died 2017, born this day in 1927. Errol Flynn, the Australian actor, Captain Blood, Robin Hood, dies of a heart attack at the age of 50. I was young. 1959 was the year. George Eastman patents the paper strip photographic film. 1884. I guess they had it on plates before that. Yeah. Erwin Rommel, German World War II Field Marshal, the North African Campaign, the Battle of Normandy, known as the Desert Fox, commits suicide by taking a cyanide pill. He was 52 years of age. He had been implicated in a plot to kill Adolf Hitler. Well, you wouldn't want to do, see the point. 1944 was the year. Chuck Yeager, I had the honour and pleasure of speaking with him. Chuck Yeager, the guy, they made a movie called The Right Stuff, and it was all about, basically, Chuck Yeager. In his Bell XS-1, he makes a supersonic flight, Mach 1.015, on this day in 1947. The Bell X, indeed. Mary Queen of Scots goes on trial for conspiracy against Elizabeth, 1586. Katie Manning, English actress, Doctor Who, born this day in 1949. She's married to Barry Crocker. The Morning Post reporter, one young Winston Churchill, departs for South Africa on this day in 1899, where he spent some time as a war correspondent in the Boer War. Bing Crosby, American singer, White Christmas, Peace on Earth, Little Drummer Boy, actor, Going My Way, dies of a heart attack at 74, and I had spoken to him, it must have been a couple of weeks before he went out on the golf course that day and did not come back, but he died doing the thing he loved, which was playing golf. Dear Bing Crosby, lovely man. 1977. And Ralph Lauren, American fashion designer, born in the Bronx, New York. Ralph Lorraine. Polo and chaps and all sorts of things. 1939 was the year. And if it's your birthday, as I say, happy birthday to you. Thanks for being with us. Look forward to your company on Facebook. 9 o'clock, we'll post Thursday's edition. And then again, we'll see you on Friday around the dining room table. I'm Jeremy Cordeaux. Believe in yourself, and thank you for viewing the Court of Public Opinion.